Yeah, just felt like making a little vlog. You know, it's the beginning of September. You know, seasons are changing. We're all changing. I'm coming out of the last few days left of Ramadan. I decided that I would. I decided that I was going to take that kind of journey on my own personal kind of way, and it's really been, a real good faith building kind of exercise. Not that it had to be attached to any religion, but the fact that uh, you're being aware that you have a desire and need to respect better your faith, your spirituality, your uh, human grounding, I call it. You know, and in the meantime, you find a way of being able to pay more attention to what's going on inside your own self. We're all, uh, what do they say, 7-8% water, so we're affected by the planetary shifts and whatnot. And here we sit in the same day and age where uh, we actually are living at the exact moment that the Earth is actually shifting its magnetic polarities. And yet and still, that's just not astonishing enough to actually question a lot of the things that we're going through on a daily basis, even though uh, that's a pretty big thing in itself, because this is a very intense moment in time for us, and it's not something that's going to be a couple of hours. This is a couple of years, and the whole world has to go through this. And in this process in time, it could be as dramatic as, oh, this is the age of Aquarius. It could be. But that's really up to how we're going to survive the next couple of 100 years. And so far, we're not doing too bad. But this is actually that new age and that new era, because a lot of people who would have not agreed with me prior in my history now have the ability of being able to say if they do or don't on YouTube or Facebook or whatever you got out there in the universe, our new universe. I'm finding as an older, healthy adult that the new younger adults are in a very interesting position in comparison to what most of us older adults would, fear or expect to be their demise as we've lived, and it's nothing like that. Um, I just commented on someone's post that right now, as people are trying to, unite and say, oh, the men unite to get back into our communities and this, that, and the other. And I'm sitting back and I'm going, actually, the kids are just fine. I think the need for the men to get back and deal with each other is another subject. And actually, it's the most important subject, because the children are going to be all right. They're going to live the next 150 years past the next 20 to 50 years that most of us will live. So with that being said, let's get back down to where we're at, because it's more capable of us considering that the future is really in a better past than it was the last time that we did this big flip. And I think that was around the Crusades era or something. So yeah, the world or the planet has come a long way, so congratulations. And yet I digress back into me and where I'm at right now and making this, because I'm just vibing or vlogging, as everybody else said, and I don't even know how the quality of this was going to come out. And it's not important who's listening to this, but if you relate, then maybe you'll understand what I'm saying here. It's like our cultural comfort zones are being bombarded with unmoralic behavior. Many people are actually considering that to be a headline in their church newspaper or in their community thing or in the mother's board or something like that. Whereas, technically speaking, we've been more free this past few years than we've been in the past few thousands of years, as whom we all consider ourselves to be related to. And then there's this thing called the Jesus gene. Now that same gene was in Moses, Muhammad, and everyone else, because that's what everybody else says is what happened to somebody for them to excel in trying to devote their journey in life to the enlightenment of their people. Well, now in this new world order of the ages, we're all starting to feel as if we're rather expecting something like that to occur, or that for some strange reason we don't really want to feel like that gene might be in us, and for some strange reason our whole entire life's plan might totally shift in the next ages of our life. And what's wrong with that in theory? The hardest thing is that the worst people that are having a problem with this are people who consider themselves blessed, because blessed people forget how blessed they are at some of the most interesting moments in time, like when they feel like they're straddling the fence between sainthood and sin, and there's absolutely nothing on their lap that God don't give you if you're into that kind of thing. But if you're not capable of being able to bask yourself in that kind of faith, that, you know, it's not like a friend has your back. If the universe really loves you, then it never falls out of love with you, just like we should never fall out of love with Earth or ourselves or anything else connected to it. This is not supposed to make sense. It's just supposed to be a lot of different things that I hope that will give me an idea if I want to do any more of these things or not. The New World Order came out with a whimper, not a bang. And the scary thing is, some of the very people who have been complaining for the last 26,000 years as to how they want to be respected and freed and loved and understood and equaled and not shunned and belittled are the same people right now who are actually having the most difficulty of letting go their need to better entertain the faults or the offenses, and not advertise, you know what, I'm here, we're here, it's getting better, and I already know that the next 150 years are going to be better whether I help or not. So with all that being said, what have you been doing with your faith lately? Is it something that you take everywhere with you, including bed? Is it something that never leaves you when you rest your head? Because if it's not, if you're not thinking and evolving, then you're just trying to get faster to the point of dead. Now, I'm not going to call you Jesus, but if he came back a few days or years later, what makes you any more greater? Maybe it's what he was talking about the whole time, your faith. I am Alpha Master Pimp Sir Easy, active dominant in the adult lifestyles, and you're not. Respect.